A cubic equation has either three roots or one real root and two conjugate imaginary roots. The real roots are the points of intersection with the points of curve. The points where the curve crosses the coordinates axis are called as the blank with the axis. Let M1 and M2 be the representative slope of two perpendicular lines. What quadrant is A if sec A is positive and cosecant A is negative? Of what quadrant is A if secant A is positive and cosecant A is negative? Length of latus rectum of the parabola y equals 4px squared is if the equation is unchanged by the substitution of negative x for x and negative y for y simultaneously, it's covered its systematic with respect to the if the equation is unchanged by the summation of negative x to x, its curve is symmetric with respect to the in general quadratic equation, if the discriminant is 0, the curve is a figure that represents an in a linear equation ax plus by plus c equals 0. If b equals 0, then the equation has form of x equals negative c divided by a. This line is The x-coordinate of a point is positive in what quadrants? Given the equation 3x squared plus 2x minus 5y plus 7 equals 0, determine the curve is the locus of a point that moves in a plane so that the difference of the distances from two fixed points of the locus is constant. If eccentricity is less than 1, then the curve is four x squared minus 256 equals 0 is the equation of an What type of curve is generated by a point which moves in uniform circular motion about an axis while traveling with a constant speed parallel to the axis? The point A1, B2, C3 are collinear. Which of the following is true? Naligo ma. Petroleum. Na ko gansiran ma. Natay manggod. The rectangular coordinate system in the space is divided into 8 compartments called. Nagtake og exam ma. What is the length of the lotus rectum of the curve x squared equals 20y? The y-coordinate of a point is positive in what quadrants? The Cartesian or rectangular coordinate system was first introduced by the graph of r equals a plus b cos theta is a man. The angle of rotation about the origin of the positive x-axis into point with rectangular coordinates a, b representing the complex number a plus bi is called blank of the complex number. Someone is called if all the white terms have even opponents, then curve is symmetric with respect to the bakit ka naglalag? If the general equation of the conic is ax squared plus b plus 2b xy plus cy squared plus ay plus f equals 0 and b squared minus 4ac greater than 0, then the conic is a what is the curve represented by the equation r equals a theta? What type of conic has equation of ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus a y plus f equals 0? What is the graph of equation ax squared plus bx plus cy squared plus dx plus ex plus f equals 0? Naglibog ko. Wait lang. Saman! Oh! Tubig ra pa nga pa. It can be defined as the set of all points in the plane of sum of whose distance from two fixed points is a constant. Pag nga nila kalula. The tangent function is negative in what quadrants? A line parallel to the y-axis at a directed distance x has the equation parallel x equals line parallel to the y-axis at the directed to the distance x has the equation of the semi-conjugate axis of the hyperbola a squared divided by 9 minus y squared divided by 4 equals 1. Oh my goodness, what's the answer of this? 2. It represents the distance of a point from the y-axis. Ay, mali ko na. If two linear equations, the x coefficient of the first is equals to y coefficient of the second, and the y coefficient of the first is numerical equal to opposite sign to x coefficient of the second, or vice versa, the lines represent are unsa man siya. Equations relating x and y that cannot readily to solve explicitly for y as a function of x or for x as a function of y. Such equations may nonetheless determine y as a function of x or vice versa. Such function is called lovely. Locus of points on a side which rules along a fixed line. Naglalag na naman ako. Bakit na naman to? If all the y terms have even exponent, the curve is symmetric with respect to the angle of inclination of a straight line is the angle it makes with the also known as the x-coordinate. A horizontal line has a slope of if all of the terms of an equation have even exponents of it, all of the terms have odd exponents, the curve is symmetric with respect to the polar coordinates system. The length of the ray segment from the fixed origin is known as a line passing through the focus and perpendicular to the directrix of a parabola is called a line which is perpendicular to the x-axis has a slope equal to Naglag naman ako. Ano ba yan? Nandes ka? If the product of the slopes of any